I'm so excited to introduce to you something that I've been wearing and loving for some time now, and I think you will too. For me, when I braid or teach or go throughout my day, style and comfort are a tie for my number one priority. And that's why I love Clove shoes. I mean, you can't spell clove without love. That's CLOVE. And they started making sneakers for the healthcare workers like nurses who need good support for long shifts on their feet. Same as in beauty and with creators, right? You're on your feet on the go all the time. And that's what these shoes are for. They're also waterproof and they wipe clean, so there's no worries about spills or stains from any products you use. And on top of that, they're super cute. And there's so many colors for you to choose from, so it'll go with any look you have. I'd love for you to try a pair, so I've got an offer code for you. Visit goclove.com/Karyne and use code CLOVEKARYNE, that's Clove, then my name, KARYNE, for 20% off your first pair. You might start collecting them like I do. That's Clove Karyne for 20% off your first shoe order at goclove.com/Karyne. Welcome to the Art of Braids. I'm your host, Karyne Tinord, and this is another solo episode. And listen, I'm going to give it to you real because we're cool at this point, right? We're homies. So I'm going to give you the real of the real. And today's topic is clients' energies and boundaries in the braiding world, right? And so first I want to start off is because we got a short bit of time and I'm just trying to get you the real. Establish good communication. Client communication between client and stylist is very important from start to finish, right? If you have a website, make sure you communicate properly. Not the full on do not throw them the book, okay? Because I be seeing websites and it's like, like, oh my God, like that. I understand, but it doesn't have to be that wordy, especially when someone's trying to book a client, book an appointment. What I use is also Calendly. And there's a part on Calendly where you can actually have a questionnaire. And I also ask questions like to make it clear, like, okay, do you have any allergies? What is your hopes? Do you have any hair goals that I should be aware of? Is there anything, any scalp conditions, any hair conditions that I should be aware of? What color preference, what style preference, things like that you can ask ahead of time, number, contact, stuff like that. And I also offer consultation. So it's good to get all of that information ahead of time when you're booking a consultation, but also establish a time to speak to the client one-on-one, face-to-face. If it's online, it will be a good way to kind of like see their hair, understand their personality, see if y'all both mesh, right? Especially if this client is for the first time. If you've never had the client, then you want to make sure that you establish you're a real person and they establish they're a real person. And so there's no mix up or anything like that. You can look at their color. If they're trying to match a color braid extension with their hair, you can kind of see, you can kind of gauge, they'll ask you certain questions. And this is the time to answer it without having them read a ton of things. And so you can establish price, you can establish time, your break. And I think I want to be heavy on the break time. When you're doing box braids, if it's a long time, or if it's something that's like 3 hours, you probably don't need a break. You can kind of like go through it. But if it's more than 3 to 4 hours, then you need to make sure that there's established break in between, especially if you're a person doing it by yourself, if you're traveling to your clients. And so establishing that clear communication ahead of time will do you so much justice and you will thank yourself in the long run. And then you can also see, hey, is this a client for me? Or if it's not, then I'm gonna have to bow out or refer them to someone else. Like it's no problem. Like certain clients are just not your client. Like, and this kind of like helps with um setting expectations, right? Managing your expectations is very important. You can say, hey, I expect to be done with this client. They booked XYZ. This should take me about 6 hours. Lo and behold, it ended up taking 10, 12 hours. Now it's like, whoa. Or you thought your client thought they was gonna be in the chair the whole day, and then they end up out of the chair like half day. These are things that come unexpected because you're one person and you're human, so you can't really calculate certain things. If something happens, if the building is on fire, you have an emergency, if you're sick, things like this is going to be a problem. It's going to come up. And so you want to manage your expectations and leave yourself some wiggle room with just in case things go awry. And I also want to say, with managing expectations for the month, right? You might say, oh, I'm charging this much and I should get about 5 clients or anything like that. Sometimes you have a slow month. Sometimes you have a busy month and you're swamped. You have to keep yourself flexible enough to manage the expectations or to outsource when things get a little bit too busy. And when things become a little bit too slow, try doing things like social media. Then you can engage with social media. You can do um, maybe work on your portfolio and build something and create like a photo shoot or things like that during the times that you are on your downtime. Because trust me, people are wanting braids, so you're not gonna have that many downtimes. So use it when you get it. And now for protecting your for boundaries and protecting your peace. Let's go back to one where it's talking about when you have a client and they're asking so many questions and you know that like they're asking so many questions about the same thing. They may be someone who is excessive or compulsive. And so that might trigger you. So you want to be like respectful and bow out and protect your peace. You can also use one of these, like a little stress ball or hum or anything like this. I like this one is really good, especially if you're using your hands a lot, braiding. This is good for like the exercise of the hands. Just doing this, it kind of like relieves some of the pressure and some of the stress that you might deal with on a daily basis. So also humming or listening to something funny, watching something funny while you're doing the client's hair is also a good way of protecting your peace. And also just saying an affirmation prior to the client. If you do have to do the client, if you have to go to work, because I know there's some people who do walk-ins when you're in a salon. It's a little different when you are a traveling stylist. You can kind of control who you're traveling to. However, you can't control who they live with or if they have dogs or cats or um, people in the house that will be there and in your face, or they're like asking a lot of questions. And so that would also kind of like trigger your peace, if anything, but just keep a smile on and work through it. But that's my little tips on how to establish clear communication with your clients, manage your expectations, and setting healthy boundaries to protect your peace during your braiding journey. So again, my name is Karyne Tinord, and this has been your Solo 101. Have a good one, everybody.